What is up, champs? Champion Trucker coming back at you with a new video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Big Ward the Genius, a truck driver that I watch pretty much every day when I'm off. He has a lot of insightful information. Some things I agree with, some things I don't. But this one is very controversial. Some people will get offended by it. Some people will like it and understand the concept. I'll definitely give you guys my opinion. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at Papa Hotch. Let me pull that up here. Papa Hotch at PAPAHOTCH for any kind of like subjects that you like me to react to or talk about. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and let's go ahead and roll that intro. So Big Ward the Genius, he talks about relationships, he talks about money, he talks about the world. Pretty much he's a multifaceted individual that has a lot of knowledge, comes from a background of uneasy kind of living. But he's definitely very knowledgeable. He is a genius after all, according to his name. But no, with all jokes aside, he's very insightful, and I highly suggest that you subscribe to him. You might not like everything that he says, just like me. I'm not here to give you guys what you want to hear. I have things that I agree upon and things that I disagree upon. So we're just all here to understand how everybody else thinks. So with that being said, let's go ahead and roll this video.
That I think y'all should do. First of all, let me say this about money. Because that's what the video is about, getting money.
Yes, sir.
Preparing for retirement, preparing for hard times or whatever, right? So we talking about money. $10,000. If you ain't got $10,000 or more, you broke.
Now I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts about that. $10,000, you're broke. At first, when I heard this, I was like, wow, that's an outrageous number. But then when I started to actually do the numbers and start looking at how much do I have to make a month in order to survive, it really broke down to I would probably, with the amount of money that I have, I would have this amount of months that I would be able to survive. So honestly, look at how much you have in the bank. A lot of us, let's be honest, don't want to open up our bank account. I don't mind opening up my bank account because I made the mistakes in the beginning. And so I would be fearful. I was a broke truck driver. That is the truth. And so when I broke it down, $10,000, determining on where you live at, and I live at a, kind of a modest state, is actually very low. I think it should be more, I think it should be at least half of your salary, half of what you make as a truck driver. So if you stay consistent at one company, because I know some of y'all don't, you should be at least pocketing half. So that means 2 years of saving. If you can't do it all in one, do it in two, save at least half of what you make. You should really ideally have what you make in a year. But let's keep going.
If you got 9,700, you broke. And if that's the case with you, now say for instance, if you, and the older you are, the higher that number goes. So say for instance, you 25 and 30, that applies for you. But if you 45, 50, 55, and you ain't got 20,000, you broke. The older you get, the higher, you got to adjust to your area. But the older you are, the higher that number is that says you're broke.
And that is very true. Very true. Some of you guys, let me go ahead and switch the scene. Some of you do not understand this fact and might hear for the very first time that right now you probably need around $2 million to $3 million in order to retire. You probably are like, no, you don't. If you want to work for the rest of your life, then no, you don't. You'll work for the rest of your life. That's you. If that's what you want to do, I don't shame you. I don't blame you. But that's just a reality for you. When I retire, it'll probably be around 5 to 6, maybe even $7 million. If there's a world to retire to. So the idea that, yes, as you age, me being 27, I should honestly have far surpassed $10 million, especially in my lifestyle, my living, my situation. I should have already had far more than 10 grand to show. I started working when I was 16 years old. You think that I have that same money in the bank account? No. When I was 16 years old, that money is gone. That money is gone. And that's a problem that my thought pattern actually had, was that dollar that you have. Think of that dollar from the company that you probably worked for 5 years ago, determining on your age, maybe even 10 years ago. Do you still have that dollar from that company? A lot of us, no. And let me show you a kind of a report that came out in 2022. Americans are falling short on the savings front. The link to this article will be down in the description. NASDAQ.com is the one that does it. If you're unfamiliar with NASDAQ, they do the stock exchange and everything like that, smart investing, markets, everything like that. So definitely a reputable kind of report that we're looking at. According to the State of Personal Finance in America 2022, a study conducted by Ramsey Solutions. I brought up this for anybody that's unfamiliar with Ramsey Solutions. Dave Ramsey and his wife pretty much have a podcast that they talk about how to get out of financial struggles. You'll hear a lot of stories about how people get out of debt. They come up with the 7 baby steps. They also have in the book, The Total Money Makeover, which I do own but have not read. But I'm very familiar with Dave Ramsey and his team. Pretty much, he has created the snowball effect. Start on one credit card, get rid of that one, what you would have spent on that credit card, roll it over to the next one. And I've done his tips, and they work. Now, am I going to sign up for all of these things? I'm probably missing out on some stuff, but no, I have not signed up for it. But they also do your taxes and everything like that to get the most back. If you're interested, that will be down in the description. But this is where that part of it comes into. It's not sponsored, but something that it has helped me. So to go back, according to the State of Personal Finance in America 2022, not even 2024. I mean, we're not fully into it. A study conducted by the Ramsey Solution, there is a clear shortfall in personal savings among millions of Americans. The survey revealed that 30% of all Americans have absolutely no savings at all, and another 19% have less than $1,000 saved. Just 45% of all Americans have $1,000 or more in savings. So 45% in 2022. These were the savings account balances as of the third quarter of 2022. So they're pulling this from savings accounts from probably the people that they talk to. Let me show you the population of black people and then Hispanics as well. 13.6% is the population of America. Blacks. Or African American. White is 75%. Hispanics, if we go over here, make up 19.1% according to the census. So there's more Hispanics, and I doubt that we even delve into the financial situation of both the blacks and Hispanics. I'm both, so I'm black and Hispanic, and it's very interesting when you look down into it.
But the minimum is 10,000. So if you somebody around here at any age and you ain't got $10,000 more put up for a rainy day, for when times get hard, if you ain't got that, you ain't got no business buying no designer clothes, no Jordans, no shopping sprees, no cruises, no luxuries, no extras, you don't have any extra money.
And at first I was thinking about like 10,000 in the bank, you're balling, but that's very much not true. How many of us seen posts online where they're talking about how your car, your life is going well, you have money in the bank, everything's good, and then something happens? typically that money wipes you out, and concurrently I'm going through that right now. And it really does suck. But that's why you build up the money, because things do come up. There's choices that you made in your past that probably return, and I'm talking about personal. Even in trucking, when I first got into it, the reason why I got into trucking was to change the dynamic of my family. Hold on, I gotta use my back scratcher. So I made my mistakes, and I wouldn't bring you a video that I'm not knowledgeable about. I made my mistakes and I'm correcting them now, and it's a lot harder to correct them when you have a lot of things against you. I'm not gonna lie, if you have a lot of debt, you made some bad decisions, you made some impulsive decisions, emotional decisions without looking at the pros and cons, you will definitely be in a deficit. But it is your choice now to go ahead and own it up to it. You might be at a wall and you're like, what's the point? There is a point, because you will get out of it. And again, you have to see it through. I think that Big Ward is onto something, but I do have to say that retirement right now, you know, my dad has been talking about retirement. You have to be at $2-3 million in order to retire and live off of at a certain age. I imagine if the world is still intact, when I'm like 55, 65 years old and I want to retire, I probably have to retire with about $8 million. And that sounds outrageous, but it's the cards I was dealt. So it's time to buckle down, you know, go hard on 401k, do a lot of kind of investments, the right investments, create assets, and stay away from liabilities. Stop buying Temu, stop going on Amazon, stop your subscriptions and everything like that. And I highly suggest that, yeah, a lot of truck drivers are broke. You have to think about the dynamic of how truck drivers go broke. You spend a lot of money in that truck stop. If you're smart, you would probably save up those fuel points that you get if you're working for a company that, you know, they're paying for the fuel. Start cooking at home more. Go buy in bulk. And instead of going into the Pilot, the Loves, and going to Wendy's, McDonald's, Taco Bell, that stuff is starting to add up. It's like $12 a meal just for one person. That's in drink, food included. So if the meals are $12, right? You eat 3 times. Let's just say you eat 3 times a week, $36, right? Times that by 5 days, not even including the weekends, you're at $180. Times that by 4, you're at $720 a month. That's not a whole lot, right? You might think that that's not really a whole lot. That's on the modest end. We're not including snacks, drinks, all the little miscellaneous items that you get off of probably a spark of an idea. Like, oh, let me go ahead and just get some M&Ms, some this. I'm a culprit of it, right? So $720 a month times that by 12, $8,640 a year. That's on the modest low end side. That's if you're getting junk food. I would beg to say to add about another probably $2,000-$3,000 to that. Let's just add $3,000 to it. $11,000. Close to 12. That's where you're at. So look at your micro costs. And this is not including vacation. This is not including expenses for living. $10,000 ain't that much. It really won't get you that far. Car repair, let's just say you don't have a new car or a newer car, or even if you have an older car repairs, you can expect it to at least be about $500. That's just doing probably oil. If it's under warranty and you're forced to do it, that's probably, an oil change. If you can't do it yourself, they'll probably charge you $300. Let's not fake around here. A lot of truck drivers are broke because of the things that they do. If you're an OTR driver, you should be saving the most money ever. You should be cooking in your truck. I cook and I meal prep on Sunday. Tomorrow's Sunday. I got to meal prep. So I go to how much you have to invest in certain things, but I have this sesame oil. That's the most expensive thing. When you start investing on the repeat items, getting the meat, getting the ginger, the garlic, and then the cilantro, all these things, so they're about $20-$30, and that'll last me throughout the whole entire week. That's all $30 for 5 days. $30-$40 for 5 days. My snacks, they last me a full week. Instead of going into the pilot and spending $100 a week, I spend $50. I cut that in half. I buy my Celsius drinks, my energy drinks in bulk, so that lasts me for a full month by about 12 drinks, right? Excuse me. It should be about 20. It's a pack of like something, but like it lasts me a lot longer. So it cost me about $20. Now let me show you the savings. It cost me about $22, right? For that amount. Each one that you go into a pilot, at least in my area, is about $4 after tax. And let's just say you do that 5 times a week. So 5 times a week, $20, right there. That's $20 right there. Then times that by 4, $80. So I literally save myself $40, close to $40. I would say about $30. I save myself $30. If I save myself $30 per month for 12 months, $360 I save. Y'all don't think that that's a lot, but that's a lot. $360 times that by, let's just say 10 years, that's $3,600 that I just saved. And again, you guys don't think that that's a lot. Okay, cool. $360, 10 years. Let's go ahead and do another 10 years. I went off the rails with the money thing right there. My math might not be mathing a whole lot. I'm a truck driver, not a mathematician. But it's about saving, keeping as much money in your pocket. And I don't think that $10,000 is even enough. I would say about 15 grand, $20,000. I say you should at least have about half of your salary or your income in your bank on the low end, and you should have a full year's worth on the high end. You'll feel on top of the world. You'll feel like, okay, if something were to happen, I lose my job, medical issue. I literally had a car accident, and I had to go to the emergency room. They billed me $5,000. Of course, I'm sending it off to my law firm, but they billed me $5 grand. $5 grand. So now I'm sitting here. I'm like, okay, shoot, I could pay it, but can you pay it? With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I appreciate each and every one of you champs out there. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, and I will catch all of you in the next one. Peace.